over the basics of the offside rule. Let's get started right away. Today we'll be working with the blue team, and the opposition is the red team. So the most basic scenario where someone is caught offside is usually this one, where the player is closer to the opponent's goal than the second last player on the opposition when the ball is released. Now, as long as any part of his body is closer to the goal than the second last man, it counts as offside. Obviously, in lower leagues, we don't have things like VAR, so this becomes really hard for assistant referees. So let me show you an example. So if number 10 on the red team is right here, and number 4 makes a through ball here, and number 10 makes contact with it, then that is considered offside because he is closer to the opponent's goal than the last man, which is number 2. The second last man, sorry. Not including the goalkeeper for now. So that is the most basic scenario we see in football. Now, if we go a little more backwards, and let's say the blue team is holding the line here. Anything in your team's half is not considered offside. So as you can see here, the back line is holding a line over here, straight line here. But if a player is here, number 10 is behind the line, this is not considered offside because anything in your own half cannot be considered offside. If number 10 were to move here, then that is offside just because of the scenario we talked about. But that scenario doesn't apply if it's in your own half, which is, I've seen this happen a few times where the line is too high for the opposing team and a striker can just make a run in behind and they're not offside. And it's a through ball and it could be a goal. So now let's get into a little bit more complicated scenarios. We'll just work with these 4 players here. Since the rule is that the player that receives the ball cannot be closer to the opponent's goal than the second last man, that means that number 1, the goalkeeper, can interchange with number 2. And now number 1 is considered the second last man. Let's say if he's here, right? We've seen this happen with Man City, where there's a player in this area here, and Ederson had to come out, and he saw that there's a player behind him that was covering the net, so he had to step the line to make sure that number 10 was offside. And in this scenario, he is offside because number 1, which is the goalkeeper, is still considered as a player, and he is the second last man. Therefore, number 10 is offside in this scenario. So goalkeepers do count as players, and they can move up and switch off with the defender. And that rule still applies in that situation. Finally, the other thing I wanted to mention is, let's say there's something happened and number 4 has the ball here. Let's say the center back fumbled the ball and the number 4 has the ball. Now, as you can see, we are already past the second last man. But since number 2 had possession of it, we caught him off guard, and now number 4 has the ball, that is not considered offside, obviously, because they started with the ball. It wasn't a pass, it wasn't a through ball, it wasn't anything. They started with the ball and we got it from them. Now, in this scenario, you can, even if you're past the players and you have the ball, you can still be caught offside if you're behind the ball. In front of the ball. So if number 4 passes it to 10 in this situation, then he is offside. You always have to be behind the ball for it not to be offside in this scenario. If number 10 was here and he passed it here, then that is perfectly fine. And then now if number 10 has the ball and he wants to pass it, number 4 has to be behind the ball when he releases it. So if he's here at this position and he passes it, that's fine. But if number 10 is like over here in front of the ball, then number 4 passes it to number 10 and he receives it, then that is considered offside. So when you're past the second man, the last second man, and you are through to goal, you have to pass it behind. You have to be behind the ball to receive a pass from your teammate, or it will be considered offside. So yeah, that's it. That's all I had in mind for today about the offside rule. Let me know what you want to see next, and I will catch you guys next time.